This morning, as students at the University of Idaho head home for winter break, the killer of 4 of their classmates still on the loose.
Through our tips, through our leads, some of the evidence that came in, we start to identify patterns.
Police now revealing they're going through 22,000 cars that match the search criteria of the one they're looking for, a 2011 to 2013 white Hyundai Elantra, like this. The car resembling this grainy image they're now investigating, captured on a gas station security cam, taken around 3:45 the morning of the murders. Employees at that gas station telling ABC News they told investigators the car took this route, heading in the direction of the victim's home, but they don't know where it went once it left the camera's view.
First, start by explaining why this search for this white vehicle.
So we have information of a white vehicle that was in the area either during the time frame of the homicide or around the time frame of the homicide, and we are just wanting to talk to the individuals who are in that vehicle. They may have some valuable information for us, and we're looking for a 2011 to a 2013 Hyundai Elantra. So any assistance you can give us, anybody that owns one, anybody that knows of someone who owns one or may have been driving one, if you could get a hold of us through our tip line or call us directly, we'd appreciate that.
It may be a big break in the case, a grainy image of a speeding car that could be the white Hyundai Elantra police are looking for. A night manager at this gas station in Moscow, Idaho, discovered surveillance video that showed a white sedan driving by on the night the 4 University of Idaho students were murdered. The timestamp says 3:45 a.m., right in the time frame in which police say the killings took place. The video has been handed over to police. It shows the car traveling on this road outside the gas station. It's just 1.2 miles from the house where the students were murdered.
Police are expanding their investigation into the murder of those 4 University of Idaho students in Moscow. And now investigators say they're looking outside the area for leads as that killer is still on the loose.
Jake Carolexis is live at the police department out there. So, Jake, which outside areas are police actually looking at?
Well, Matt and Nia, police say they're examining areas up to 30 miles outside of Moscow looking for clues. Investigators have been asking for surveillance video in Troy, which is about 12 miles east of Moscow, and Kendrick, which is another 12 miles from Troy. And a gas station employee in Troy said police asked for recordings, but his store doesn't have a camera facing outside. And here's a look at some video shot in Kendrick last night near Phil's Family Foods. Police reportedly asked the store for surveillance footage from November 12th through November 14th. The murders of those 4 University of Idaho students happened on the morning of November 13th. So far, the video hasn't been much help, but police say that obtaining as much video as possible is their best bet at finding a breakthrough.
Consider how much video there is to collect and what you would think of to do, and that's what they're doing. Any surveillance video we have is definitely part of what is moving us forward as far as progressing in the investigation.
And today, police say they are still looking for the occupants of that white 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra spotted near the scene on the night of the murders. Police say there are over 20,000 registered cars in Washington state and Idaho that fit into that criteria, and they're getting tips on that Elantra from across the country. In Moscow, Idaho, Jake Carolexis, Fox 13 News.
A white Hyundai Elantra without license plates and front-end damage found in Eugene, Oregon, hundreds of miles from Moscow, Idaho. Could it be the car police have been searching for weeks? I'm Anjanette Levy, and welcome to Law and Crime's Sidebar podcast. We've been following the investigation into the murders of those 4 University of Idaho students since it happened back on November 13th. Kaylee Gonsalves, Maddie Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin all found stabbed to death in that home on King Road. Police have been asking for leads for weeks about a white Hyundai Elantra between the years of 2011 and 2013 that was in the immediate area of the crime scene that morning. We now have photos from Tuesday morning about that vehicle. Photos of it have been circulating online since Monday, and these are photos of a very similar vehicle found on West 7th Street in Eugene, Oregon. There is front end damage. The bumper is hanging off. It's dirty, and there are no license plates. So that is a similar vehicle to the one they're looking for that's been found. And I contacted Moscow police about it, and they told me that they are aware of the vehicle and they are working on it. And Eugene, Oregon police say that they will be impounding that vehicle. And joining me to talk about all of this is Jennifer Koffendorfer. She is a retired FBI agent. Jennifer, welcome back to Sidebar. Thanks for coming back on.
Thank you for having me.
Jennifer, let's start with this white car. It's a white Hyundai Elantra. The photos are floating around on the internet, and they show a Hyundai Elantra with front end damage, no license plates on a street corner in Eugene, Oregon. We're not saying it's the car, but Moscow PD tells me they are aware of the vehicle. They're investigating it. Eugene PD told me they had notified Moscow about it. So, your thoughts and feelings as a retired FBI agent on this vehicle just appearing on this street corner with no plates and front end damage?
Well, certainly law enforcement would be completely remiss not to take this clue seriously. They need to go out and discover why in the world and how in the world that ended up there. And if there is any connection, remember, and this is just an interesting little nugget, but Maddie was born there in Eugene. I don't want to say she was necessarily raised there. From the information I've been able to find, she spent her early years there. But nevertheless, there is a slight connection to one of our victims. In addition, it's odd for a vehicle to sustain this sort of damage, not have a license plate, be abandoned. It is somewhat contemporaneous with these murders. Granted, it's going on 5 weeks out, so it's not as if the individual, fled to Eugene, abandoned the car, something like that. But there could be a nexus. This could be our car. It has to be investigated, and that's what the FBI needs to do.
And they are doing that, according to Moscow PD. They are aware of the vehicle. That's what they told me on Monday evening, and they are investigating. We're hoping to get more information about it. And again, they've been going through 22,000 vehicles. This could be the vehicle. It could not be. We don't know, but we're going to stay on top of it for everyone and see if there is a connection here. Jennifer, I want to move on now to the video in this case, the digital evidence, and I'm talking photographs and video. As of about a week and a half ago, they already had more than 1,000 video digital submissions. That is a mountain of material. Some of those could be brief clips. Some of them could be hours long video clips. So what does it take to go through all of that? Because I've heard people testify, police officers in the past in court, when they're talking about going through surveillance video, and they literally have to sit there and watch it, sometimes for hours, and log the details.
Well, you're exactly right. Having been on the other side of that on numerous occasions, it is painstaking. You go moment by moment, keeping your eye to every detail on that clip, everything that surrounds, in other words, what's in the background that's happening, sound, if it's available. You have to really analyze moment by moment. And sometimes, as you mentioned, these clips are very long. They have requested from the 12th through the 14th for most of these video clips. So this isn't just a snapshot in time. They are looking for incidents that occurred in and around this event. So it's painstaking. Realize that many times this is going to be analytical work that are done by the FBI's analysts, and they are very well trained. They also go to Quantico to learn investigative techniques. They don't tote a gun, but they're very well versed in how and what to look for. And I expect throughout the United States, analysts in the FBI are reviewing these videos as we speak.
So throughout the United States, so they've got, all hands on deck looking at this, because yesterday we learned that they now have 60 FBI agents assigned to this case throughout the country. They had 46 last week. So they've increased the manpower by 14 agents. That seems significant.
It's very significant. And if
All right, now our other top story, an update in the murder investigation of 4 University of Idaho students. Here are the top 3 things you need to know that have just emerged today. First, after a video was taken on the night of the murders from a downtown business, police have confirmed they have now identified a man who was referenced in a security video by 2 of the victims from the night of the murder. Police are saying that man is now cooperating with police. Also tonight, after an extensive search for a white Hyundai Elantra, Moscow police believe one was spotted near the crime scene the night those students were killed, and they have long said that whoever was in the car could have critical information. Well, now they are aware of a white Hyundai Elantra located in Eugene, Oregon. That's the car you're looking at right now. We also just learned from Moscow police that car is registered out of Colorado. They believe it has no connection to the property in Moscow where the murders took place. The Moscow police chief did give a full breakdown today of where the investigation stands right now. Here's what he had to share.
So I know there's been some questions about the leadership in this investigation. What I want people to know is this is a Moscow Police Department investigation. We're utilizing the resources of the FBI and the state police, but we pick the investigators. My command team oversees this. We have 94 years of experience between us, and we're going to continue to work this case. We're going to continue to work it to the completion. We have a lot of resources that we're utilizing, but we still ask for your help. We ask for any tips that you might have, anything that you might be able to give us. We're going to take a look at those, but be assured that this investigation is the Moscow Police Department's, and I am the chief, and we're going to follow through with this. And just know that from the very beginning of this, we've been a unified group, and we make decisions together, but those ultimately I stand behind at the end. I'd like to update you on our tips so far. We've received 7,600 email tips. We've received 4,300 phone tips. We've received 4,500 digital tips. All of this helps build the picture that we're trying to put together here to solve this case. What we want you to know is we appreciate all your help. We appreciate everything that you've done, but we're asking that if you have anything additional, please just send it to us through our tip line or through our email tip line. We appreciate that.